Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of season 2 of the Dead Realms. We're going to start the second half of the season with a bang, the introduction of a new big bad evil guy, or big bad evil woman in this case. And we are rejoined by everyone in the cast. So I hope you guys are ready to have fun watching the second half of the season. First off, if you would like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can just click the link in the description below, click that, subscribe that, so you have accessibility for all your Den Realms campaigns on YouTube, because that's the most accessible area. For some reason, one of the YouTube videos is banned from like certain countries for whatever reason. I'm trying to figure out a reason why that is, but that's just the way YouTube works. Secondly, if you want to support the show by buying one of these merch, like the shirts or other such merchandise, you could click the Redbubble link in the description below. And if you want to join the Discord, you could just join the Discord in the description below. Click that, and you'll have access to a community full of not only just D&D campaign uh, individuals or people, but we're also starting a bunch of other tabletop games as well. Check it out. Great community. You guys will enjoy it. So without further ado, let's just reintroduce our cast, just in case for any first-time viewers, starting with Ascendancy.
Claudia Levette.
Not looking at camera, I see.
Oh,
All
I
right.
mean yogurt.
Fair enough. All right, next one down from Ascendancy. I guess we'll go down from there, which would be you, Mr. Bebo.
Thought you said down. I was to the right of him. Uh,
Down via
uh,
the Discord.
Ryan Peppers, which is our bird cleric.
Equus, half-orc druid.
Nian Von, Tiefling Warlock.
Notable Judgment. I'm playing Arculus, and he's a fighter.
I'm serious. I'm playing Copper, Dragonborn Monk.
Alrighty, and without further ado, let's continue with season 2 of the Dead Realms. Do you all hear this music? Okay, cool. So last session, we were continuing the defense of the church, where you guys held your defenses against a variety of threats, especially since Slods were in the mix. But nonetheless, you all prevailed, and with the completion of the Hollow spell, the church is now a sanctuary against all undead creatures and other such creatures that dare threaten the church itself. You guys created a sanctuary for the rest of the Water Davians, and on top of that, with this light coming from the sanctuary itself, it created a small pocket of clouds. It clears it, and you guys saw for the first time, and since the apocalypse started, the moon itself. You guys then went fall asleep, with the exception of Copper, which he left with one of the NPCs. I'm just remembering names real quick. You went with Brent, one of the archers, in order to try to stop the main necromancer slash summoner question mark of that attacked the church. Meanwhile, everyone fell asleep. While Copper and Brent were navigating through the areas, Copper and Brent recognized that the area was already went through, and a weird, thick black substance was covering the hallways. And about that same time, Equus, you were having a dream of remembrance of your past life in the Staples. Meanwhile, Mr. Peppers was directly speaking to the Moon Maiden herself, Saloon, as she is tasking him of what to accomplish. And at the same time, it seems like Evan's having this weird psych dream where all three of you, along with Copper, are saw what used to be a cultist base surrounding an obelisk, surrounded, and the only thing left of it was this woman, which you Equus recognize was wearing Stitch Skin's gear, but more cleaned and more detailed and what have you. And it is a woman, again, pale skin. Her hair is red as blood in color, and you foresaw this. Copper, you seeing this in person of this individual summoning, seems like to be a bunch of warriors coming out of the obelisk, with you and Brent just trying to get the hell out of there. and we'll get to you guys in a second. Bebo seeing seeing Mr. Peppers seeing the next task to basically stop whoever this individual is, and Yevon hearing a whisper from what sounds like to be his brother saying this is the reason why they come to protect her in the first place. Meanwhile, Equus, it seems like this individual is directly talking to you and seems to be jumping into your dream and notices you. And we left off with the last session of you figuring out this woman is known as the Morrigan. And as far as how she speaks in an Irish accent, and whenever she speaks, it sounds like three women are talking simultaneously, but with each pitch slightly different to distinguish that three different women are talking at the same time. And at this point, the Morrigan has introduced herself to you, Equus.
It's a
Maiden.
pleasure to make your acquaintance. You're a goddesses of crows as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Crows, what are that my animal avatar in our past lives? Yes.
I knew a crow once. He was a great friend.
That's we are aware of the one you call Stitchskin.
You've met him?
Stitches is what we call them on our plane of existence. The one you know as Stitchskin was an avatar of Stitches. We belonged to a world many, many years ago. And through time and through different religions coming into a place, ours started to conjecture, mixed, intertwined, lost, almost even. Each of us three sisters had a crow of our beck and call, our servants, one of them being Stitches. As our divinity and our essence fade from that world, we they requested to have a life of their own for their years of servitude. And so we did. So we sent them out throughout the multiverse. And they live each their distinguished lives. It appears that the one you called Stitchkin lived a life here. It's such a shame he came in during this time in this place called Faerun, if I recall.
These are trying times indeed, but I must say it was an honor to make Stitch Squin's acquaintance.
Stitches does miss you, and he requested one thing before I begin on my quest in this world.
What's
Would
that?
you Stitches says how good of a druid you were, and that of a good friend you were to Stitches himself. You two became very close, and any friend of Stitches is an acquaintance of ours. Would you join me in our quest?
What is your quest? I would be honored to do something for a friend of Stitches.
At this point, she waves, she sees her longsword, and she opens her hands. And as she does, you just see the entire, from a bird's eye view, the entire world of Faerun. And she says, "The gods of this world have done a messy job handling their dead. The gods have lost their divinity. They're currently losing their divinity because there is not much mortals that would pray to them in their dying needs. Their way of handling death is sloppy, and we must cleanse this world in order to start anew."
What do you propose exactly?
What I'm planning to do is to use the obelisks located here in Waterdeep to regain our forces. And through that, we will go throughout this realm and cleanse it from both living and undead. I will give the chance for those living to join our cause and to pray to us, the Morrigan, for this world. And if they don't, well, they'll just die. Would you join us, Equus? to be honest, the only true innocent ones in this world are the animals and the trees themselves. The rest only matter if they were willing to serve.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And sitting here giving the opportunity to hear you explain it, it makes total sense. But let me say, there's a lot of people down there, and it might be a bit of a tough sell for the folks back home. Is there anything you can tell me to earn the trust of the people, or perhaps a show of good faith to indicate to them how serious you are with your offer?
It doesn't matter whether they choose to accept or not. It only matters if they are willing. We must eradicate any other divinity force that threatens our goal.
And is that all of the other divinity forces, or which ones are you cool with exactly?
We must eradicate every other possible divine force in this realm if we want to have it for ourselves.
Okay, I know a cleric who might have some issues with that, but I'll see what I can do, your highnesses. I will try.
Very well, Mr. Equus. And at this point, she like rubs her hand against your cheek. And the reason, and she's like, it's cold to the touch. And she says, and it would be a shame if you were to turn back on our deal. I do not deal with those who betray my trust. And as it does, the quote unquote sweats that she leaves from her fingertips starts to turn into this black weird substance, and it starts to spread across your face. And as it does, you just wake up immediately from your sleep. Meanwhile, going back to Copper's situation, you and Brent are trying to sneak the hell away from whatever you just saw. And Brent's like, damn, we gotta get out of here. We don't want to attract that army.
I've already snuck away.
All right.
God, dude.
As you and Brent are trying to sneak away, all of a sudden, it's weird. This black goo that you see further ahead, it starts to come alive by itself. And as it does, like Brent and you just start to figure out like what the fuck, what is all this now? And you see the black goo slowly morph. And as it morphs, all of a sudden you see like a little crow head appear, and it just begins to squawk. And as it does, the little switch that you see plops off of the wall and tries to fly, but it just falls flat on the ground and just turns into this oozy substance. It begins to slither back towards the way you came from. And as it does, you see that this black liquid that's scattered throughout this path that you were on starts to morph and form. And for some reason, you just see crows coming out of them, and they're flying past by you. And as it does, one of them hits Brent in the shoulder. It's like and you see like as the crow hits Brent's shoulder, his shoulder begins to melt, similar to like an acidic attack almost. And as it is, he's like, "Shit, we gotta get out of here." And at this point, Brent starts running. What do you do?
I mean, I run past him. I can run faster than he can.
You sure can, bro. And as it does, as you begin to run faster and faster, Brent says, wait up. And as you are clearly faster naturally, but you see a bunch of crows are coming at you at a fast pace. Just go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Nat 20 for 27, and I have evasion. Oh, yeah.
Cool. So that means you take nothing, right?
Yes.
So you are just bobbing and weaving as like a flurry of crows are passing by you. One of the feathers tries to land on you. Upon one of the feathers landing, it again turns into this gooey substance, which normally for a regular person it would burn, but since you are naturally resistant to acid, it's just nothing. But as you go through, all of a sudden you're grabbed and pulled out of the way of the hallway into like this weird crevice. And before you're pulled away, you turn back to look at Brent, and you see that he's just covered from like shoulder down, like this weird acid slash feathery substance, as he is just being pulled away from you towards the opposite direction that you came, and just screaming out, going, "Ah!" And as it does, you are pulled into this crevice, and you see that this onslaught of crows are going nonstop. As it does, you turn and you see a figure seemingly completely covered in armor and a cloak. He says, "Are you all right?"
You know, I had that. I was in a moment. They weren't even touching me. I probably could have gone through them all. Yes, I'm fine.
Good. And I highly doubt you wouldn't go through them all. But it seems like we have something in common.
Who are you?
You can call me Silver at the moment. Tell me, have you heard of a white tiefling roaming around as of late?
No, and why should I call you Silver? That sounds weird.
That's my name. Word gets out of my name. I don't want those who know me to find me.
All right. Well, what are you doing out here?
I am looking for someone of the mention of what I've described, a white tiefling that's been going around and about. And I'm assuming it has to deal with that glowing church in the distance.
I don't recall a white tiefling. No,
How are you trying to lie to
I don't know him.
No, he actually doesn't remember Yanban at all. I prefer that actually.
him? Fair enough. All right. He says, well, do you know a path to the church? It looks like a safe place to go. Definitely
I
beats.
point back to where
roaming
Brent
around
was
the-
being dragged.
Hmm,
Follow
I
the
see.
crows.
I see.
Gotta kill him.
That's
He
a
peeks
deception
out.
check, though.
He peeks out a bit, and as he does, he like pulls back and says, "I think I might know another way around."
You know, over the table, I have no recollection of any white tiefling at all. Dude,
I mean that.
I
Fair
was
enough.
too busy trying to
Wow.
get Pepper the hell out of there.
Or Matt's character.
You forgot Matt's character.
In
What,
all
there's a
fairness,
dragonborn
you've
in
only
the
seen
party?
him like twice. You're always taking off, so you've only seen him like.
He says,
I don't remember.
Anyways, Silver continues and says, it's like I might know a safer route. And then once we get to the service, you could show me where the church is.
What do you mean we? I gotta go back to my group. I have to report on this stuff.
Fair enough. Let's meet up with your group, and then along the way you could take me to the church.
The church is literally in the opposite direction of where I'm going. Are you okay with that?
That is fine. But let's wait this out. Let these crows pass. And then we'll make our escape.
Can I do a perception check to see if I can just still keep weaving past these crows to get out of here?
You try to look back, and it seems like ideally you could possibly do it, but it is continuous at the same time. There could be a chance that you could just make it out unscathed, but it could be, again, it's the luck of the dice at that point.
I really feel like you are breaking my momentum, but I'll wait.
Very well.
And I just sit
And
against the wall.
alrighty. After some brief amount of time, the crows at this point stops. And at this point, I'm assuming you're gonna head back to the church to report this to the group, right? Unless you want to do something different.
No, that's where I'm going.
Okay, cool. Silver will follow you. It is at this point that the rest of you are awakened to a new day. Excuse me. As all of you have completed a long rest. The day is yours. And as you guys look out of your windows, you see what seems like to be glimpses of a sun rising based on the cloud dispersal above the church. So you see rays of sunshine for the first time in 3 years.
Yanban just walks up and he just like spreads his arm out and he's like he's a little bit more torn than when you guys met him.
Damn.
Oh no! Oh no!
Damn.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh
Torn
man!
up about it. He just dipped. He just like, I'm out, yo. It just beams up
Take
to
me
the
away. Goodbye.
sky.
Man.
But
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
he's just got his arms outstretched. He's just basking in it. He's got like more stubble. He's got more scars than he's ever had, and he's just sitting there for the first time. He just takes a deep breath, and he's just gonna meditate and just relax.
Alrighty. So the day is yours, boys. You wake up. Obviously there's some food to go around, and you guys could have a meal if you wish. But other than that, you do have some time to yourselves. Arculus, fortunately for you, one of the guards people that is left remaining says, "Excuse me, Arculus, sir.
What is it?
Um, could you assist us with something real quick? Come."
All right. Well, yeah, would prefer details.
I think it's better. We'll explain it along the way. Come.
Arculus stands up, and for once, it looks like he's in very visible pain as he walks.
All right. And as you walk, we'll get back to you in a second. What do the rest of you do?
It's light out, correct?
Yeah. There's some light out, yes.
Okay. About fucking time we've had some light. That's all Claudia says. She's just looking around.
Okay.
So what's the plan? Are we staying here? Are we moving? Do we have a girl?
Well, you guys are free to do whatever. I'm gonna go grab me a bow wherever one of those may be.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can find a blacksmith who's working or somewhere.
I have blacksmith experience.
First
I
off,
just don't have a
alright.
forge.
All right. We'll get to you in a second, Copper, because you have not yet actually made it back to the church.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as far as Yenvin and Yenvin over through you, Mr. Peppers, it's a new day. What would you like to do? You have some free time.
I'm gonna go talk to what is the tiefling's name again? I'm sorry.
Everyone forgetting Matt's character. Oh boy.
Why does nobody remember me? I'm a cute character. I put my time in.
You silver Matt? I thought you
His
just met
name is
some
Yadvan.
NPC person that just like holy shit.
I'm gonna go talk to Yenvan. Hey Yenvan.
He seems like he's in a pretty deep trance, but he opens his eyes and they go from like a faint white glow to being hollow again. He looks up at you and goes, "Yes."
So I spoke to my deity last
Ooh.
night. It appears we have a new problem.
We have many problems.
Yes,
What
but
is-
this one is much worse. It's have you ever heard of the Morgan or anything before?
Can I roll history?
You can
Actually-
make a religion check.
I did meet her. But yeah, let me make a religion check. A 12.
This is the first time you've heard of it. It has some incline to some god, but you don't recall what.
I do not typically worry myself too much of the trifling of the gods. I know of Helm. That's all I need to know.
Well, so my deity, the Moon Maiden, she showed me this deity that's coming to our world last night, and she came through one of the obelisks, and I think she's gonna try to kill everyone else.
Well, we'll add her to the list. Yeah.
I figured you guys would have, you especially since you're so spiritual, you would have seen something about her in your dreams.
I wouldn't call myself a spiritualist. I like to think of myself as a philosopher who's just really lucky. But let me put it this way: if there's a god who's trifling with all other gods, they must be quite powerful. We need to get to someone who has a brain in their heads, and unfortunately, and he kind of just looks around. Yeah, we're gonna have to look somewhere else. Well, we should probably get on the move at some point, but honestly, I think we should focus on what we have in front of us until we're presented with a good lead. We have these people here. They think you're God. Let's take advantage of that and rally some people to us. If you are the prophetic one, if you are their savior, save them.
Oh, thanks for the advice.
Sure.
I'm my images that I seen last night were very disturbing to me. I think I need to talk to the priest. He might know
Sure.
something.
Yeah, maybe he can expunge you of your negative emotions. Sure.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just looking for answers about that deity.
Well, if anyone would know, it'd probably be the High Cleric. Yeah. I have some other stuff I was going to do. Catch me later. Let me know what's going on. And I walk up to the top floor where we have that kind of like epic rooftop battle, and I just start slinging eldritch blasts at zombies on the ground. Just
You do so.
fuck
Sure.
you! Just screaming from the rooftop.
As you're saying this, Copper, you are walking up to the church with Silver. All of a sudden, you just see
running.
Sorry, you are running to the church, and
Copper doesn't walk.
you just see a bunch of zombies' heads go poop, poop, just popping off, and like, as you look, you just see some weird dude on top of the church saying "fuck you" to a bunch of zombies and just slaying motioning his hands, and as he does, he's just killing zombies nearby around you.
I'm gonna just keep running towards the church. I'm gonna just dodge out
Alright.
the way.
I mean, I'm not aiming at him, but I'm gonna keep the cone near him
Sure.
so that any zombies who come close kind of like fall just before they get to him.
Sure. As you do, you see that following behind Copper seems to be some figure in a cloak. You can't quite discern what figure this is, but he is following Copper as those two are approaching the church. And at this point, as everyone kind of like gathers around down to the church area, for commons areas or what have you, with the exception of Yevon, everyone else is downstairs and Copper has rejoined the church.
I do want to state that I am faster than Silver, so it doesn't look. You can't tell if I'm being chased or if he is following me. Just want to
Fair
put that
enough.
out there.
Yanvan
Fair
doesn't
enough.
want to chance it, and he's really lazy, so I'm gonna cast the fly spell and just kind of float on down in front of him.
Okay. I'm in front of Copper or Silver?
Copper, like he's in front
Okay.
because he's faster.
Gotcha.
He keeps
Just walk
saying
by
that,
him
like if I
before he
didn't remember
lands.
that.
Fair enough. All of a sudden, as soon after you run into the church, Copper, all of a sudden flying above and then in front of you is Yundvin.
I want to try to baseball slide underneath his feet before he lands.
Sure. Make a acrobatics check.
15.
15. Okay. You are able to do so just at the nit second. It seems that Copper's a bit more faster than you, Yunvin.
So what? Does he like send me spinning, or like what is he trying to
No,
do?
he slides right underneath you, just grazing your nuts.
I get it's that awkward moment of like, oh, did you mean to do that? Just weird eye contact as he goes by.
I don't even notice. I just keep running, so it looks like I'm being chased.
I just look up to the person who is chasing him. Greetings.
All right. You see this figure come before you, Yevon. Notable, if you would like to describe your new character of what they look like in detail.
Oh, all right. So, hi, by the way, I'm playing Silver. Well, put me on the spot here.
Yep.
Wait, we
Alright,
can make
so
new characters?
What do you mean? Silver
That's why
bolts?
I was asking, bro.
Do you mean silver bolts?
no,
Well-
it's not a bolt this time. Silver, Silver
Oh,
is
silver.
around 6 foot tall. He is clad in silver armor with a black cloak strewn on top of it. He carries nothing but a long sword and a scimitar. Besides that, he just looks like a guy in a suit of armor.
All right. This figure of silver has appeared before you, Yevon, as
All
you say
right.
greetings.
Guy in a suit of armor. Who are you?
Well, your acquaintance should have let you know. My name is Silver. I am a traveler. I'm seeking somebody out.
Well, I'm all ears.
I don't feel like I need to tell you anything.
Okay, then fucking get lost. This is our church.
Damn.
Wow!
Bro, you know how this is. This is how Yanban is. He doesn't give a fuck.
Forgive my friend's manners. Would you like some tea?
Hmm. What can you offer to me?
Dandelion.
He just said.
Good
There
for
are many types of tea, my good sir.
dandelion. Dandelion root. Roasted over a fire. It's got
What,
the
so
nice
you
kind of
just ripped up a bunch of dandelions and are putting them in boiling water? Does that taste good?
You're so
Oh,
picky for a man who just showed up, who we don't give a fuck about. Would you like to be a burning lump of charcoal? Drink the fucking tea.
I'll take the tea.
bad.
Good lord.
I'm really starting to like Yanban.
I couldn't remember his fucking name.
I will take
Yanban
your
puts his
offer.
hands up. I jest. It simply caught me on the wrong morning. As there is a morning to be had. The sun.
It's quite odd. The sun. Such an odd sight these days.
So why do you seek this person? That was the thing that struck me. I don't give a shit about the tea, really.
I seek them for I require their assistance in a certain quest, you may say.
The questing lot. Oh, well, let lost fools be lost fools. Good luck. And he just kind of floats away back to the tower.
Get love, Yanvan.
All right, Silver. You take a cup of this dandelion tea and you taste it. Equus, describe what dandelion tea would taste like for the audience.
Yeah, so it's kind of earthy. It's been used as a substitute for coffee before, so it's a bit bitter from the roasty flavors. But it's a pretty thick bodied tea. It's not like thin, watery stuff. It's got a mouthfeel to it. Some deep
Sounds
earthy,
disgusting.
roasty flavors, and it really wakes you up. It puts a pep in your step. Like I said, it used to be a replacement for coffee.
You taste this, Silver.
How is it?
It's good, isn't it?
He's talking to you,
Silver.
Noble.
Sorry, I completely forgot that Silver's my name. Sorry, two in the mood for Arculus.
Oh my god.
To be fair,
It's a transition. It's a very strong transition. Silver, after somehow drinking this tea through his helmet, looks at sorry, what's your name? Equus. I know your name. It's Equus. I actually like your character.
At your service.
He looks at Equus and says, "To be quite honest, it's terrible, but it's the best thing you can find around these parts, especially in
Hey.
these times."
Hey, he took time making that. You better enjoy that shit.
Thanks,
says
Claudia.
says Lady Claudia.
You're right. It's better than nothing.
Tell me, what is your name exactly before I continue onwards?
I'm Equus. That over there is Claudia. I'm not sure who else you haven't met yet. Yenvan's the guy who floated away. He's like that. And our resident cleric, of course.
By the way, where are we right now? Are we still just sitting outside the church?
You are inside the church at this point.
Good. Okay. So Silver seems to stop at the mention of Yenvan's name, but he quickly composes himself and says, "Pleasure to meet you all. My name is, as I said before, Silver. I'm a wandering adventurer looking for a certain somebody.
Who may this certain somebody be?
That is none of your business."
Well,
I've
how
met
is
Copper and I've met Silver. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they're looking for gold.
you know
Wow.
you got a point there.
I just got it. Oh my god.
Mr.
Really?
Peppers.
Hmm.
Mr. Peppers, I'm assuming you're trying to find Father Sartorius, correct?
Yeah,
About
I'm
the
also on
Morgan?
my way talking to all the people that we saved and like helping
Okay.
them if they need
As
it.
you are going through the temple, the church, excuse me, as you're going through the church, a lot of people are saying, saying their thank yous for assisting with the church and what have you, of defending it, and you serving as the cleric of Saloon, the worshippers of Saloon, kind of do like a. They aren't too sure whether just to bow down to you as like a god or whether to not to just simply thank you. It's up to you how you respond to it.
Oh no, do not bow to me. I'm just here to help and strengthen my bond with my goddess.
As do
Don't
we, cleric.
um thank you will be fine. It's but it wasn't just me. It was my entire team.
Very well. We'll be happily to thank them as well whenever we get a chance to see them. And as you're going through this, you see, as you are walking towards Father Sartorius's resting room, as you all recall, he suffered many levels of exhaustion doing the Hollow spell for 24 hours. Um, you see a dude completely in plate armor, covered from head to toe, wearing what seems like to be a cloak of sorts, making conversation and having tea with Equus as you're going towards Father Sartorius's quarters. Would you like to interact? Yes or no?
I'm gonna kind of glance at him and be like, huh, he's new. Wonder where he came from.
I'm gonna hold up
And
a glass of tea like want some, but he's
oh
walking already. I'm
no,
like,
no, 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 no. I just keep on my way.
Everybody
Right.
hates Equus's tea.
You go to Sartorius's quarters. You see he is resting on a, well, for lack of a better term, a somewhat decent, well, not decent, just a regular like bed bunk. He's just resting, laying there, just reading what you see is a book, is basically the Bible of Saloon. It's like, oh, cleric Peppers, Ugh, so nice of you to keep me company.
Yes, how are you feeling?
A lot more better than did yesterday. I still need some rest, of course, but I think after a few days rest, I should be fine.
So I must inform you, I heard from Saloon last night.
Did you
She
know?
s- she spoke to me. Um, and it appears that there is another form of a deity challenging this world, attacking all things, I guess. I guess her name's the Morgan or something like that. Have you
Morgan.
ever heard of her?
I have not. And you say this is a deity of sorts?
I believe so. That Saloon said it was someone else trying to come into power, and they're coming forth into our
Hmm,
world. And
I
she
see.
named it. I think she named it Morgan, is what she said. And it looks like this deity of some sort. She's coming through the obelisks, and she said we have to
Hmm,
stop her.
I see.
How does one fight a
At this,
god?
I could come up with a great joke, but I'm not gonna say it. But Father Satori says, "Well, if my teachings have served me correctly, at the, for someone that's trying to reach some sort of higher power divinity, they must require followers. They must require to have some sort of role in the world itself. Are you do you know what type of clothing this Morrigan was wearing or what power
Oh,
she
yes.
wielded?"
I pulled out Stitch's uh dagger that I kept from just for like keepsake because I really enjoyed Stitches or whatever. You see how it has all
Okay.
these black feathers and everything kind of attached to it and kind of bony? It looks like that, except much cleaner.
Right. He inspects it and he says, "This is definitely not one of the Raven Queen, that is for sure. But it seems to be something similar to it." Hmm. As he's like inspecting the clothing or what have you, you notice like this like dirtied out symbol which is unrecognizable and says, "This is definitely not a symbol of the Raven Queen herself. This is something different. I've never seen this before."
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just she said that that is a new threat to her, and I must stop her at all costs.
If our goddess says that this individual must be stopped, then I believe she is correct in doing so. This individual who you speak of, this Morgan, if this individual is trying to have some sort of deity or trying to be a god or whatever the case may be, it could be very problematic to the church. And if Saloon herself says that this must be stopped, then well, I think it is right to follow her instruction then.
Was hoping you had more information on this so-called Morgan or whatever, this bird lady.
I will take a look in our library to see if I can find anything similar to the sort, but for now, I think it is wise to think that this Morrigan is clearly dangerous. It must be stopped at all costs.
Um, and then I'm gonna start heading out and joining the group, I guess.
You join the group.
And hello, sir in armor.
You can call me Sylph for now.
For now, does that mean you have another name?
Perhaps.
Secretive, aren't you?
Yes, our friend is full of many mysteries, but we're not here to pry, are we, Ryan?
No, I was just trying to meet this new person that showed up.
Understandable. We're all curious. I just don't want our new friend to feel pressured in any way.
Well, I think if he needs our help, we should, know a little bit about him.
I'm not requesting any of
Surprised
your
he
help.
Then why are
Huh?
you speaking to us?
Yanban,
Be the place I wish to be.
Why are you here? Yeah, like
Hey guys,
Yanban
now
said,
this is a
this is kind
sanctuary
of
for
our
all of the people of this world.
If you're not here for us, why are you here? You here for Sartorius?
No, I don't want to bother you guys with whatever religious fanatics happen to live here. I'm here to find someone else.
Okay, but they're not here. You already looked.
Excuse me,
They may be here.
religious fanatics.
Copper would like to go off and find like
You just
strengthen his hat. Like
you're saying the wrong thing, sir.
no.
Cop-
Copper
I
would
Copper.
like to
concern
go
myself with saying the
and
right
some stuff to
things.
strengthen his hat. So
Copper,
As
you
you
got real
are
quiet.
about to do that, Copper, the Blade Singer comes up to you. He says, "Copper, a word."
yes, fine. What is it?
You went off with Brent the night previous to scout ahead of what you find. But Brent didn't come back, and I
He
highly doubt
didn't?
he's in that plate. And I highly doubt he's in that plate of armor. Do you know what happened to him? You went along with him.
I saw him fighting some crows, but I thought he had made it back.
Make a deception check.
You You're a monster. Let us be honest. Terrible.
14.
Okay, let me roll.
Damn, I totally didn't just let him get killed.
You said he was attacked by crows?
Yes. So, okay, let's backtrack. Actually, can you walk with me? I'm looking for straw for my hat.
Sure. He joins you on your walk.
And I recap the entire
hear that
night in full
conversation?
detail.
Go ahead, recount it.
Perfect.
Did I hear that conversation?
Make a perception check. And
Is
I
that
guess
an
Copper
open
make a stealth
perception?
check.
15.
A stealth
15?
check?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is technically stealthing
21.
a conversation away. 21. You heard it. You heard some talk of what you already know, that that Brent and Copper went out of the church, but other than that, you didn't hear anything else.
The
You're too
crows thing.
infatuated with this new. Oh, the crows bit. I would say you heard that Brent's got attacked, but not the crows bit.
Oh, okay.
So Brent and I went to look for the sorcerer supreme of this whole piece of crap night that we had to kill him, finally. So we reached this obelisk, and this lady in this freaking armor comes out of it, who's in black goo everywhere. So Brent and I hightailed it out of there. But then there were these crows in the same group that the woman came out of that were coming towards us. I was able to dodge it, but Brent wasn't so lucky. So he ended up fighting them off, but we got separated. And that's it. I just assumed he got back here. And then Silver had the freaking nerve to stop me from getting here last night so I can at least find someone to help out. And then we had to spend the night behind some damn wall.
This Silver character, do you trust him?
No.
Very well. It's sad, to shame. I gotta tell Sarah that her brother died. Thank you for letting me know.
Jesus
That's what I'm here for.
Christ. You're a terrible person,
And
Copper.
then he walks away from you.
I'm going to continue to look for my straw for my hat.
You eventually find straw for your hat.
Did I look for a bow?
Alright.
Or like look something I could use to make a bow?
You look around. There are like standard bows, but as far as like supplies for such bows, there's not much to go around. It is a church, in fact.
Well, I mean, we did fight a battle where there were archers. I mean, there has to be something laying around.
So there's like crossbows that like just regular ass hand crossbows that you could gather, but other than that, that's really it.
Well, I'm gonna take one of the bows and look for arrows later, I guess.
Okay, you have a hand crossbow.
Woo.
All right, what do y'all do?
Yanban is just flying through the center of the monastery and like its big ceilings, and he's just floating and rotating and eating like a ration. He's just bored.
After I strengthen my hat, I want to find if there's like a forge or someone with who's working in that anywhere inside or probably outside the church or on the grounds, I guess.
You ask around. As far as on the grounds themselves, no, there isn't like a forge area located in a church. However, you do locate one individual, human, and he says, "The forge. I haven't been to the forge in quite some time, but the only blacksmith shop here would be a couple blocks down, and well, it's covered with someone dead over there."
Oh, you sound like you want to come with me then.
I would like to go back there and start working again, but until this undead problem gets sorted, I don't think I'll be doing some blacksmith work for a while now.
And to just take a look outside to see how the swarm, count is.
Sure. So, as far as the vicinity, the entire church grounds is covered in this radiant light, and no zombie can penetrate it. Other than that, you do see the light is attracting the zombies. So as far as like the horde count, it's basically 2 hordes worth of zombies, which is quite a lot.
Is there anything in the church you think we can use to make a makeshift forge here?
There is like some. Maybe there's like a small fireplace
You know
somewhere
we
in
did
this
that
church.
last time, right? When we made the catapult copper, we used like sacred flame to make the forge.
I wasn't here for that. I don't really care about the spell stuff. All I do is have these, and I show my fists.
He says, "Yes, but that's temporary. If we want to forge, we gotta get proper supplies and make it run continuously. Now, if we're gonna need supplies, you would have to go back to a shop. As far as coals and embers and what have you, and the necessary equipment to do a forge, it would be in my shop."
Equus, can I talk to you for a second? I pull Equus away.
Yeah,
Okay.
Equus, I think this is a perfect time to see if Silver is serious about being around us. I think he
I
should
hope
go to
so.
the shop to do this retrieving for the forge.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Perfect. You
Wait, can
tell
I hear this?
No.
I think we're ready to walk back in and propose.
Copper's gonna go to the rooftop.
Propose it.
Okay. You go to the
Anytime.
rooftop. At this point, the sun is like directly beaming on the church itself. It blightens you for a second,
I have my sun
Copper,
hat.
as you are not accustomed to the sun because you haven't seen it in 3 years. But eventually, you regained your sight, and the sun looks quite bright.
So glad I have a hat. Oof. I'm just gonna sit there, cross-legged, and just kind of look out.
Okay. Equus, you have information. What would you like to do with that information?
You see Jan Van just circling the top of the thing, eating his rations.
Hey,
How long does flight last, by the way? I know you're a warlock, so I think you get some extra time, question mark?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? All right.
Double my
So
time.
we'll say we'll say you do the full 10 minutes and eventually you have to come down. So unless you
He
want to use
seems
another
really disappointed.
Damn it, I hate when this happens.
I'm just gonna sit on the cold, gross floor.
You do so.
Next to Copper?
No, he's
Copper's on
outside,
the
I
roof.
thought. Oh, he's on the roof?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kind of sitting in the middle of the church, on the first floor.
All right. Equus, you have information. What would you like to do with this
hey,
info?
Silver. As we've let you into our home, and if you're interested in continued association with us, we've got a favor to ask of you.
You've allowed me into a public sanctum.
We are the keepers of this. Now, be a good sport, Silver. What's good for the horse is good for the herd, and we've got an opportunity that will help not only us and the good people of this town, but yourself as well. Not too far from here, there's a forge which is presently overrun with undead. If we were to clear that forge and secure it, then we could begin producing armor and weaponry for the people and ourselves. Are you interested?
Silver looks around in thought and eventually nods his head and says, I will assist you, but I need to find the tiefling you traveled with. Where is he?
Last I saw, he was flying overhead. I bet if we take a step outside, we could see him.
Right then. Show me the way.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go look for Yenvon.
I don't know where
Right.
Yangon is. I don't know how
He's
big
sitting
this
on the
church
ground
is.
eating crackers.
But where?
In this like the first floor where you guys are.
Oh, okay. So you're in like the same room or like on the same floor at least.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's not too hard to find you then. So we're walking around, we run into you. Oh, hey, there you are. How's it going, Yenvon? You want
Hey.
some cheese with those crackers?
What with the crackers? Did you say cheese?
Cheese, yeah, it's extra aged, I must admit, but
You have cheese? Yeah, I want some. This cracker
So
is dry
that's
as
enough
fuck,
crackers?
bro.
He said it's extra aged, but I will admit, gross.
hell yeah, man, have some cheese.
He eats it.
Yeah, cheese and crackers.
Hey,
Fucking
we were just
D&D.
talking about that forge down the way, the blacksmith shop that needs clearing out, and Silver said he was willing to help with that. He just wanted to talk to you first.
I'm not sure we really need help, but sure.
Silver
I could probably do it
allows-
on my own, but I don't wanna strain myself.
Silver chuckles and then looks at Yanvan and says, Tiefling, I request a private audience with you.
And under what circumstances would I accept? I'm
Pardon?
not sure what we have to say to each other, Plate Man. Unless,
Under the circumstances of me helping you.
as I said, I'm not terribly in need of a bodyguard or an aide.
Well, it seems like you are. Your friend
Perhaps if you
seems-
could tell me something tantalizing, I might be lured to follow you.
New word.
Silver goes silent for a minute, and he says this in a very dead serious tone and says, "It's about your brother."
Let's go then.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm like a sociopath, just switches off.
Is Copper doing an inside check for like
It's
the
like-
vibe and then the church when he says that?
All right,
You can tell.
You don't need to
then.
make an insight check. Everyone just kind of looks and stares and says, "Brother, what?"
No,
the
I'm
fuck?"
on the rooftop though. I need to make.
Oh,
A
there's no,
No,
way
you
would make
you
a check.
tell like the vibes off. You can feel it in the
I'm a
air.
monk. I'm literally sitting there meditating. I was like, oh,
Sure, you know what? Why not make an insight check? Sure.
Just sitting there and you're like, bro.
Yeah, that's an 18. That's an 18.
Everyone goes silent. What's happening?
You hear nothing but silence and get this weird vibe. You're like, that's weird.
That's all I wanted. That's all I want.
You may continue what you were doing, gentlemen.
Yanvan leads him to what he thinks is a private area, the roof. Because that's really the only private area. So
You
he
see
just
Cos-
goes up there.
You see Copper
Can I
meditating
hear
up
them
there.
and then sneak. Hold up. Can I hear them and then try to sneak?
Yeah, you hear the door open behind you.
Can I try to sneak out of or try to scale the side of the rooftop?
Negative. Absolutely not. You.
Fine. All right.
Yeah, but your meditation was disturbed by Yanvan and Silver as they both entered the roof.
The whole silver.
Yanvan's got a very serious look to him, and he just kind of looks at Copper and gives him like the nod.
Fine. And then Copper just kind of goes to the edge of the roof and just kind of just jumps down.
Sure.
Showboater. He walks to the far end, and without even a spur of thought, he just turns and looks at Silver and says, "Were you the one who killed him?"
Oh! Silver looks you in the eyes and then snaps and casts darkness around us.
In an equal display, I'm gonna cast daylight.
Oh!
The second he does it, there's just this whoosh of just light and dark slamming into
the
each
light
other.
from the light from the sun connects with the darkness around.
Is it at this point I roll initiative because that's what he's thinking of doing?
Oh, absolutely. As
Copper
this
noticed
happens,
this on the way down.
Silver
Yes.
kind of
It's like an 80-foot radius. Like everyone
Yeah,
knows
you
it's
just-
there.
You see a blob of darkness, and then just this beam of the sun just hit this darkness area. What do
All
you
I'm
do,
thinking
Copper,
as
as
I'm
you're falling
falling
down
is like,
gently?
damn, I really should have just hung on the side.
So
Alright.
as this happens, Silver's gonna kind of reach for his longsword and say, "Your brother was an easy kill, and I shall finish the job that I did not succeed to do."
I rolled a nat 1 on initiative, so yeah, there's that possibility.
All right, what you rolling in initiative, Silver?
That's a fucking that one.
You rolled a nat 1?
Yeah.
Re-roll
the
that shit,
total?
boys. Re-roll
Also,
that
can
shit.
I roll initiative here?
We'll get to the rest of the party in a sec.
Mine's a
But this time,
13.
13.
15.
Alright,
And
going
we'll
first.
start this combat when we come back from break.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The cliffhanger.
And welcome back to the show, where two of our players are going to have combat against one another. So, with that change, let us proceed to combat.
I
You'll
am
hear
first
that
in
battle
initiative.
music.
Oh. Yes, I do.
Cool. So here's how it's going to play out. So, because both darkness and daylight are two big fucking radius spells worth of spells, and to kind of break up both the 1v1 aspect along with the rest of the player's aspect, I'm gonna have the player's actions go first. Tell me what you're gonna doing during this time, and then we're gonna switch them back to the PvP where both players will take their turn. So, Copper, as you're leaping off the balcony, you see just a big black ball of dark energy around, and all of a sudden, the beam of the sun itself just hits against the darkness, creating this light effect inside this black hole weird effect, and you're slowly falling. What are you doing?
Do I have enough time to reach and try to get back on the roof or no?
You can go ahead and make a dexterity check for me, please, to see if you're able to grapple the roof. Well, make an athletics check because this does involve strength.
Okay. I will roll athletics. 13.
13. All right. You try to grab some bricks. At first you slip, but you eventually just barely catch with your other arm. You're at this point halfway down the church, just dangling off. Meanwhile, inside the church, uh, you guys are all just chilling. All of a sudden, you hear screaming coming from above, as like it seems like the edge of this black ball. It seems like is just showing right above the top of the first floor, as the first floor is 20 feet tall. But you see like this edge of like a black ball, and like people like screaming from up from the second floor. What do Lady Claudia, what do Equus, and what do Mr. Peppers do?
Let's ascend into the black hole. Well, I mean,
Like you three see this, what are you doing?
I'm gonna fly out the window and start flying up.
yeah.
All right, you fly out
I'm
the
going
window.
up the
Equus,
stairs. Yeah, I'm gonna get up there.
going up the stairs. Claudia.
Running up with Equus.
Claudia and Equus, you two are running up the stairs. You see that this black ball energy is covering this whole entire second floor, it seems like. But what's weird about it is that it has this light ethereal effect too. So you are seeing basically whoever's coming from the second floor just like try to, it seems like blindly coming out of it. They're like, oh my god, what is going on? There's so much light, but so much dark. As they are like running past you at this point.
Question: while I'm flying up the side of the building, do I see Copper dangling there?
Oh, you do see Copper dangling halfway down, and all of a sudden, at the very top, you see like this black energy surrounding the top half of the church, along with the beam from the sun just beaming down against it, creating this weird effect.
Can I wait for Ryan Peppers to come pick me up?
But Mr. Peppers, you do see all this.
All right, well, then I'm gonna try to help Copper. I'm like slingshot him back up there.
So you
All
see
right.
the people on the second floor are running around in the dark panics.
Yeah, they're panicking, bro.
So I'm gonna call out to them and be like, "Hey, the staircase is over here. It's not dark on the first floor. Just go down there and chill out. Follow the sound of my voice. Staircase is over here. I'm gonna keep going upstairs, but you guys go downstairs."
All right, then we get to initiative. Yenvin, you are the first to roll higher on the initiative, I believe, if I'm correct.
Yep.
What would you like to do?
As everyone's kind of ascending and flying up and kind of like all trying to reach me at the same time, Yanvan just looks back at them and screams, "Do not interfere!" And he fucking slams his hands on the roof. And you see that there's a blood vial that has like shattered on the ground in front of him. And it immediately forms into a pentagram-like symbol. And he raises up his hands and gold chains connect to the roof and he starts pulling upwards. And as he does, the roof starts to shatter and lift open.
Oh.
I'm casting Summon Greater Demon.
Oh.
And I am
Well, here-
summoning.
yes.
I am summoning the Tenaruk.
See, that would be a good idea. However, I think you're unfamiliar with how the hollow spell works.
Oh,
my
it's
friend.
hollow.
So-
Hollow's here.
Hollow works until it is dispelled. So as you're pulling up these chains, all of a sudden your pentagram just vanishes. Your spell fails. You waste a spell slot. It seems
Okay.
like something is preventing your magic.
All
Or still
right.
convincing.
Then I'm just gonna use my quickened action to make that a bonus action, and I'll use Eldritch Blast.
Alrighty. Hit your shots.
The nat 20.
Oh, shit.
Roll the damage.
So you take a level of exhaustion.
Good.
But go ahead and roll damage, buddy.
You take 36 points of force damage.
Oh,
Right.
shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's 36.
All right.
That's one of your beams.
Oh no, that was both them. I rolled 2 9s. 18
Oh, okay.
doubled is 36. 18 times 2 is
Gotcha.
36, right? Someone want to check my numbers?
Wait, that's how
Well, don't you get 2 beams on your Eldritch
Yep,
Blast?
that's
So you
36.
get
Yeah,
two
so
extra, right?
I rolled both beams, and both of them were a 9 damage, and added together that's 18, and then doubled is 36. So I don't roll individual attack rolls for each beam. They both land. I can just divide the target.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
In
Alrighty.
lieu of that, can I use my reaction?
To do what?
I want to cast the spell. So as this bolt slams into
What
me and I
spell?
get sent flying back, Silver is gonna snap, ignoring the pain, and he's gonna cast Hellish Rebuke on Yenvan and surround him with black, scathing flames. And as he lands, he's gonna say, "Let that anger envelop you, Yenvan."
So I rolled an 11 on my deck save.
Does not succeed. Let me see.
You'll
He's a tiefling.
You'll take half of that though. So
Yeah, he'll take half of it.
What, an 11 succeeds?
No,
No,
just
you're
you have
resistant.
resistance to flame.
Oh, okay.
So- Rebuke. 13 damage. I don't know half. I'm bad at math.
It'd be
Wait a
rounded
minute.
down, so 6, right?
Yeah.
6
6
Yeah.
damage.
damage.
As this happens, Yanvon screams back through the light, "I am rage!" And I'm going to use Hellish Rebuke.
I was waiting for you to do it.
All right. Go ahead and make a deck save.
Yeah, make a deck save.
6.
That's fails.
Heck, you
so
you
half
failed
of
too.
3d10. So I rolled 25. So it's 14 points of fire damage.
Yours is way stronger than
Or
mine.
no, 25 halved is 12. I'm sorry, 12. I'm bad at math.
You destroyed my HP. All right. So is
Are
it
you
my turn?
down?
No, I'm not down.
All right, it's your
Yeah,
turn
my
now,
turn.
bud. What would you like to do?
All right. He's gonna brush himself off and smother the flames that cover his cloak. And he's just gonna look at Yenvan and say, "Do you remember the day your brother died?" And he's gonna snap once more, and I'm gonna use my channel divinity to use Abjure Enemy.
What does that do?
So he has to make a wisdom saving throw. If he doesn't, he is frightened for 1 minute and his speed is reduced to 0.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make that with save.
12.
16.
So I'm frightened and I have no movement speed.
I'm not sure what frightened does.
I have disadvantage to attacking the target and I can't move towards it.
Yep. So you're stuck. You're stuck there.
Yeah. So it's disadvantage towards attacking the target, but you're not
Yep.
you're not what's being abjured. So do I have disadvantage to attack you?
Yeah, me.
Okay.
All right, and that is. Oh wait, shit. No, okay, never mind. I'm right. Sorry. I thought it couldn't be used on humanoids, but it can. It just
Alright.
has. Wait, are you a fiend?
Yep.
I think it has extra effects against fiends. I'm not sure if
Alright, well-
tieflings count as fiends
well-
though.
Time is up at this point.
You're right. You're right.
So at this point, Mr. Peppers, you have arrived to aid Copper, and you said you wanted to fling him up.
Basically, what I was doing is coming right up along the building and shooting up as fast as I can. And as I'm coming up, I'm gonna grab his hand and then kind of like come to a complete stop in the air and send him flying up there to get him up there faster.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check for me, please.
This is My Hero Academia.
Well, oh, that's a
How much?
strength saving. That was the wrong one. That was a strength saving throw.
Strength check.
Well, 11, not much better.
11. You try to grapple Copper. However, Copper's a bit heavy as you are trying to both concentrate on flying upwards at a fast rate while trying to grab him. You manage to grab his shoulder, but unfortunately your grasp slips. Copper, you are still dangling above Set Church. Anything you would like to do?
Did he give
At
me
this-
any momentum upwards?
He gave you only a little bit, but not much. That you
Can
could
I
have produced
use
on your own.
that and then use a key point for Step of the Wind to kind of jump up with that small momentum and my key at the same time?
Come
Can
on,
I time that?
jump off me! I'll be fine. I can fly.
I would say just go ahead and make a acrobatics check to see if you can perform such a maneuver.
12.
12? You are among, so it seems kind of easy enough,
I
but
have
it's not the
inspiration.
momentum.
No, I have an inspiration for some
All
reason.
right. Okay,
Shit.
cool. You still have your inspiration, so go ahead and re-roll it.
There we go. That's a 23.
Yeah, you're
Oh, yeah.
able to do it with ease, and you manage to run upside the building, and you see a bunch of chaotic explosions happening. You see the look of fear in Yevon's eyes. Equus.
No, he don't. No, he don't. Your
Can you
age.
imagine it that I'm showing him the horrors of the day his brother was killed over and over?
Yeah, Equus and Lady Claudia, you guys are like at the edge of this darkness / daylight. What do you do as a bunch of people are exiting out your ways as Equus basically called majority of them as you see a bunch of people running past you?
I'm going up.
From my
Go.
recollection, we should have the layout of the church pretty much memorized. So I think we would know where to go even if we were blinded, correct?
So
Oh, is my darkness spell
they-
still up?
So yeah, both spells are still up at this point.
At this point, he would have had to roll concentration as well.
Yeah,
We
just roll
both would.
concentration for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
both,
both of you
yeah.
roll
I'm
concentration.
not even sure what your spell does to my spell.
It's kind of like this weird yin yang effect of them coming in and out of each other.
So basically,
yeah, I was
nothing
about-
changed. We can still just see.
I succeeded my con save for daylight.
Okay. And then Richard, what did you roll for your concentration check?
11. I'm not sure if that's enough.
I don't think that beats a critical hit, so I'm gonna say no. So at this point, the darkness dispersed, and all it is just this bright light, seems to like coming from the roof. As like both you, Equus, and both you, Claudia, it's near blinding at this point.
Are we up at the top of the roof?
So if you wish to go through it, I would say make a general history check to memorize the layout of the second floor as you are going into this space. You are currently blinded by the sheer light of this. Of your
I
surrounding areas.
rolled a 15.
Okay.
$11.
11.
Could I take 2 leaves and put them over my eyes and poke
No.
holes in them?
No.
Sunglasses.
So Claudia, you pretty much got the second floor memorized, so you got a general good direction of where the third floor is. However, for you, Equus, you haven't seen the sun in 3 years, so it's very blinding, so your eyes aren't quite used to it yet. Now we go back to combat. Mr. Yevon, you are up. What would you like to do?
I am good.
Oh
Hey,
no, he
my
left!
turn.
Oh man!
My
No,
turn.
that's tough.
Damn.
Oh wait, he's back. Damn. Sorry for the technical difficulties,
He
everyone. It seems like
ascended.
Discord. Seems like Discord's
ascended.
having an issue
I'm
today.
dead, y'all. He's gonna use Eldritch Blast. Big surprise.
Wow.
Wow.
First one's
With
a
disadvantage.
25 at disadvantage, yes. Second one is a 15.
Does not hit.
All right, I'm gonna use my bonus action to command my imp to strike him from behind.
Oh, you're
Alright.
the imp. I forgot about you.
You
Little
summon an imp.
gremlin.
Here's the weird part about the imp. Normally, and this is something that you two would know, usually imps would be considered devils or fiends. You see, as Aslan reappears, his demonic parts of his features starts to burn a bit, but he's not as affected as it would be based on your summon greater demon spell. It's weird because of what you have done to him, Yevon, based on your backstory. But we'll say because
It's
the
'cause he's
hollow
my
spell is
bitch.
in we'll say because the hollow spell is in effect, that would normally keep out creatures such as that, I would give Aslan disadvantage with these attacks.
Okie doke.
As he is constantly burning while trying to stay around.
Or Aslav's.
Does the fact he's coming? Oh, it doesn't matter. I rolled an 18 regard. All right, 25 for both. Okay. So that's 1d4. Hold on, let me just grab his numbers. I'm rolling. Stop the timer.
Dice.
1d4 plus 3. And then make me a con save.
Oh, I'm not dead. I don't know. 22.
Okay, you take half of 3d6.
Why
So
are
yeah,
you
for
doing
the
this?
audience. So for the audience, I've introduced the timer because combat's a bit longer, but hopefully this will solve that issue. So how much damage total?
12. And
12?
for the first time in the campaign, Yen Von is making this attack with lethal damage and not non-lethal.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
As
Are you down?
as you stab me in the back, I kind of groan. "Ah, you coward! And I fall to my knees and look at you and say, "You've grown up, brother." And I am
Yen
out of the battle.
Von just looks mystified and confused, and his eyes kind of like soften for a second, and he walks up and just rips his helmet off.
You rip Silver's helmet off, and it is indeed your brother under the helmet.
He kneels down and grabs him from like completely falling over and like looks at him just shocked. He goes, "Why did you grow up to be such a little bitch?"
I'm gonna take it. Combat's over at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna use my bonus action to heal him for 8d6.
All right.
Oh, I love
So-
Yenvan.
So as I am transitioning the music from this battle music, you
We're
guys,
all arriving. We're like, what the fuck's happening?
Literally was
Yeah, I was gonna say,
literally ran up there
um,
first. Like,
I should have just
So-
attacked instead of using a pure enemy. I would have done a ton of damage too.
So, sorry everyone, I'm just changing music here real quick. Stop. All right.
You do
So
heal for
as-
18.
Thank you.
So as everyone is gathering to the top, with the exception of Equus showing up a little bit late, as he is like trying to basically get another sense. Equus, you see all of your comrades. You see Copper jump over the edge from the side of the building. You see Mr. Peppers flying about. You see Lady Claudia, who seems to be unaffected in comparison to you, and you see Yevon and what seems like to be Silver revealing to be a tiefling, looking well. Notable. Describe what "quote unquote" Silver looks like.
Silver, whom his name is still a mystery actually, looks like a silver tiefling. Something odd though is that his horns seem to be shaved down to small studs, and his hair is shaggy and torn and ripped. It's white, by the way. Besides that, he just has a pretty average-looking face, scarred by battle and perhaps years of torture.
As he like there's this reveal of you guys walking up and seeing a tiefling who looks similar to Yen Von. He looks back and he's just sobbing. He's like, "He's my older brother." He's just losing his absolute shit.
Oh my god.
Excuse me, I can't help but notice the scars on your face. Were you perhaps tortured for years?
I was just about to ask.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You guys are. How do you notice that? Why is that the first thing you ask?
I've seen some fucked up horses, man.
The horse commentary.
Silver just coughs, and he doesn't say anything. He's just looking at his brother.
I'm sorry. Would anyone like some tea?
I'm okay.
Perhaps some licorice?
Now is not
Yo,
the
you make
time for
licorice?
Now is the time for strong ale. That is the only time it is. He just looks at Iamon and he just shakes his head and he goes, "How did you survive?"
I was going to ask the same question, brother. I thought you dead, torn to shreds by the undead hordes.
I just ran. It was all I could do. I was not the man I have become today. We are different now. I can see that in you.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just kind of is like his brain is racked with so many questions. He just shakes his head and he goes, we should go downstairs and tell everyone that we're not fighting."
We're not trying to kill each other.
He just kind of walks away, like rubbing his eyes and just kind of like just confused. His whole world is different now.
Since when do
Five-
you have humility in one?
Since I had something to live for, you wouldn't know anything about it. And he just walks away.
Holy
Damn.
You can't do that.
I've
Wow.
been
So how-
3 days and you're already talking shit. So the Empires not having it right now.
Copper
So-
has his hands by the sides of his mouth, with his mouth open, just like.
Fuck you too, buddy.
He's already gone. He just kept walking.
Mr. Peppers, how are you reacting to this whole reveal?
I'm like just flying on the side, like, huh? So confused, and I just kind of fluttered back down and through the window.
You do so. You see a bunch of people who are panicked from the events above.
Oh, everyone, it's fine, it's fine. No big deal. Nothing's bad happening. We're all
I was
good.
just testing a new spell. I'm gonna use
They
it
were
on all the zombies.
practicing up there. It was just yeah. it was just practice.
So I'll give Yenvin and Mr. Peppers a choice. If you want, Mr. Peppers, you could try to make a persuasion check with advantage with the help of Yevon, or Yevon, you can make a deception check with the help of Peppers. That's up to you two
He
gentlemen.
just kind of puts it like, I got this. And he goes, everyone, do not worry. We were testing new spells to use against the demons. These spells are rather tempestuous, but harmless.
That's
Make a deception check.
I mean, it's a 22 before I roll the advantage. It's a 23 after, or 22 again.
They seemed somewhat calm, but you get the idea that they could buy it.
Everyone, would you like? We're about to bust into the ale. If anyone would like to join us,
A few people were like, yeah, but then everyone is like, because of the events that transpired.
Yeah. No.
I got on stairs and I just bring out the heaviest cask I can get my mitts on, and then after
you
failing
bring
to
out
lift,
the only cast.
before failing to lift it, I look at Copper to do it.
Oh no,
Well-
Copper stayed back on the roof. Copper's just like
Oh, I'm
practicing
being
martial arts
surrounded
and-
still?
Huh?
I think I'm still being surrounded by everybody.
Are you still on the roof?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
still
I
on
thought
the
we
roof.
went down.
Yeah, no,
Well, I'm
still on
kind
the
of
roof.
crippled right now.
Oh, I healed you. I carried you. Made you.
Oh,
better.
you're carrying me. Oh my god.
Well, it's kind of like that, kind of like
Yeah,
shoulder
it's kind of
walk.
okay.
Does he need healing?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so hurt.
I could
Everything
heal him.
hurts.
Well, get to work.
Okay, lay him down. We'll lay him down there.
Why does he need to be laying down? I don't need to have people lay down to heal them.
Go
really go.
enjoy your ale, sir. Let me do my druid thing.
Well, I'd
my
prefer if we both could enjoy our ale.
Can't even with this commentary.
He just puts his hand on Silver's shoulder. He says, "I've been rolling with a strange crowd. Good luck." And he just walks
Fuck you.
away.
Oh, good
Fuck you,
lord.
all right. Okay. Claudia is gonna cast Cure Wounds on Silver. What's her name? Silver.
Silver, as far as you know.
Okay, Silver. Yeah, on that guy. Let's roll. You got 10 health back.
Alright, so as you heal me through my armor, I'm gonna just, like, do that one arm exercise and look at you and say, "Thank you, whatever your name is. Don't tell me, I don't care.
I'm going to
Thank
tell you. I'm going to tell you, just so you know.
Tell me, I don't care.
Neither of us care. It runs in the family. My father didn't care about you either.
Your
Yeah, mother
father.
cluckers just keep on messing around, fucking scaring everybody.
Well, I'm waiting for your name, since you insist.
Oh, Lady Claudia. Nice to meet your acquaintance.
I'm not gonna be calling you Lady Claudia.
You can call me Claudia.
He
I
just
won't
he
be
just
calling
looks
you
back.
that
He's like,
either.
nobody calls them my lady. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no one was supposed to.
Right. I do not care.
Wow.
Could I get
Go-
going now? I have
Go
important
get
conversations.
get drunk with that guy. Actually, like the points to Yenvon.
You forgot his name, did you? Oh, I was angry. Alright.
No, I knew his name.
Silver's gonna get up and walk towards Yenvon and just look at him and say, "Could we drink in private, brother?"
Sure.
Back up to the roof.
Yeah. The roof is
Somewhere
always
more
quiet.
private.
Well, there's other private rooms in the church,
No,
y'all.
the
So
roof's fine.
fair enough. All
I'm gonna
right, so
grab
we'll
a
get
mug of
back to
ale.
that. Sure, you guys each grab a mug of ale and start to head back to the roof. What do the rest of you do?
Hmm.
I just
Probably-
look at them as they're walking away and shake my head. I'm like, ugh, and put my hand on my face, like, oh god.
Yeah, don't
I'm
worry. I
gonna-
got the same thought as you, buddy.
I'm gonna drink with the people and play all my sick bird flute tunes. They're all odes to Stitchkin.
Make a performance check. See how good your tunes are.
Crit at
Nice.
22.
They're pretty good tunes. They're really good tunes. There's a lot of people that are enjoying set tunes. It's quite beautiful and elegant.
Hell yeah,
Because
we're dancing, we're
Because
partying. It's a good time.
Stitchkins was a
We're
gloomstalker.
forgetting about the zombie apocalypse. The vibes are immaculate.
Mr. Peppers, anything you would like to do?
I'm just gonna kind of the few people that are still a little worried. I'm gonna calm them down, comfort people, and talk to people, kind of thing,
You-
and then continue on to ponder how to deal with the situation that has arisen through my dreams when I talk to my goddess.
As you ponder, a follower of Saloon comes and says, Cleric Peppers, Sartorius would like to speak to you. Seems like he has found some information about someone you were speaking about. Morrigan, I believe.
Good, good, good. I make my way over to him.
You make your way over to him. But first, let's go over with the conversation with the tieflings. So you two head up to the roof. Copper, you are once again interrupted in your time of peace by these two tieflings.
I respect his meditation, but I pay him off with a beer. Just kind of slide him a mug across like the roof shingle. Huh?
Oh, I grab it and then just jump down off the roof.
Bye.
Again, this poor man.
You do so. So as you jump off the roof, just sliding down the roof safely, no problem, while holding set mug of ale, the tiefling brothers have time to talk to one
Oh, wow,
another.
Why the fuck did you attack me?
yeah. Silver's gonna look at you and say, "I needed to know you were ready, brother. And I surely do know that you're ready." And he looks at the dents in his armor.
Well, you could have died, so I hope the test was worth it.
It
What are we
was.
getting ready for?
Red.
Has he been cited?
Well, I assume we've had run-ins with him, but I haven't seen him since the day he supposedly struck me down.
I think he may be in Waterdeep. I couldn't be sure, but just a few days ago, securing this temple, we fought a gentleman who looked a great deal like him. It's hard to say for sure.
Really, I was under the guise that he had fled, being the coward he was, after I escaped, of course.
So you were taken prisoner.
I was. After I was thrown to the ground, he kept me hanging by a very thin strand. He dragged me to a terrible chamber and tortured me for a year many. Then
Explains why you're so weak now.
Oh!
He offers him like a cheers with his
Yes.
ale.
Silver's gonna clink it and then he's gonna chug it down and say, "Yes, yes. Or maybe you've just grown stronger."
I think I've just grown lucky. Yesterday I would have said that yesterday I did say that I would happily die and care not. I had nothing to live for just a few moments ago. I'm glad that you're back, but my group, we seem to be at the center of a great whirlwind of destruction and change. This church seems to be the epicenter for a great deal of information. The latest of which, the girl that we were protecting,
The one
girl
that
that-
ran with you.
it would be a mercy to say that I abandoned her. But the truth is that I could not protect her.
Protect her from what?
It appears she has been taken by the cult, and that they have twisted her mind into something truly terrible.
They have a way with that. I would know.
I've heard whisper around the temple about someone named Morgan. I believe that she may be acting as a vessel for this force of destruction and absolution.
For them, there is a greater threat than Red himself. I have trouble believing that.
If we see him, we'll definitely kill him. He's fucked. If we're both alive and on the same page, he's fucked.
Oh, absolutely. We're both on the same page. That he is. Forgive me for my words, but he is a massive bitch.
Yes. And I know it may seem strange the tone that I give off to them, as I've developed a strange rapport with these creatures below us. But
Damn.
do give them forgiveness for their actions. They are good people, and they have taken me in as none has before me. As a tiefling, you know how it was. We were on our own. The only ones we could look at with any fair sense of not even trust, just we knew they wouldn't kill us if we didn't kill them, was other demons and fiends and tieflings.
Brother, I do not blame you for attempting to reconcile in others. But did they have to be such an odd assortment?
Things could be said about them, that's for sure, but we have battled great evil, and he just kind of like opens his arms and like looks up to the sky, and he's like, we have brought the sun for the first time in longer than I can remember. If we want more of this beautiful daylight, then there are many things that we must do, and we must act quickly.
You know, Silver's gonna look at you and then say, "You have changed, brother. You have changed." And then he's gonna try to hug you.
He's gonna hug him back. They kind of just sit like with the sun, just chilling, and they're just drinking their beers and start reminiscing about like the bullshit shenanigans they got into when they were kids, just fucking around in the local city, just street urchins, robbing
yeah.
people and trying to make an evil living.
An evil living.
While you are reminiscing on memories of past, you hear some commotion going on below.
Have you ever flown before?
I was not granted that power by my
He
watch
grabs
life.
him by the shoulder, casts fly, and fucking swoops him down with him.
Fucking Aladdin.
A
Having an
whole
Aladdin moment.
new
So-
world.
So while that whole conversation between the Tiefling brothers was going on, Mr. Peppers, you enter the quarters of Master Sartorius, and what you see around scattered around is books upon books about religion and deities, or what have you. Says, Cleric Peppers, glad that you have arrived. I
I'm
have
sorry.
looked more. I have looked more information about this Morrigan character you're talking about. She, well, based on this stitching, and he shows you the armor that you presented to him. It seems like this symbol closely resembles this one, and you see a very, very old, tattered book, so tattered that you see Father Sartorius doing mage hand, carefully turning the pages. He says, "Forgive me, this is quite an old totem, but if I were to lay my own fingers on this, it would disintegrate." But and he shows you while flipping through the pages with his mage hand, you see a symbol, and I'll post it right back into the text chat for our private Discord. But it is a symbol of, for lack of a better term, an Irish wind symbol circled around by three ravens. The symbol here, and he says, "It seems like this symbol has been here longer than, well, even possibly the Moon Maiden herself, but that's impossible. The Moon Maiden is one of the first gods to exist, but here it is here, along with these other symbols." And he's showing you like other symbols, one of them being an ankh, another one being some sort of Japanese character symbol. But he says it seems like these symbols were, seems like someone was studying equivalents of our gods, but a different world. It's quite odd, but the symbol closely resembles this. And judging from the symbol itself, I could only assume that this is some sort of raven goddess of what have you. What your former ally has something to do with her, I'm not too sure, but it does seem quite odd.
So are you telling me this goddess is coming from another world?
I do not know. This is newer information to me as well, but if these other symbols around, I mean, it would make sense that people see our gods differently and might call them different names from times past. But this is relatively newer information.
Do you think there's a possibility of coexisting with this?
When it comes to gods, I do not know the nature of how these gods work, but judging from how hierarchy works, if one wishes to, and if I recall, this Morrigan character wishes to erase the land or challenge the divinity of our gods. What was that you spoke of? Forgive me. I am still quite exhausted from that hollow spell a few days past.
I believe she's trying to basically purge everything and start anew. At
Then
least
she
that's
would be
how I perceived it.
then she could be possibly overthrowing the gods themselves. And as soon as he says that, you hear commotion going on in the opposite room. He says, What the hell is all that commotion about?"
I don't know. Let's go find out.
You check out. Meanwhile, Equus, towards the end of one of your songs, towards Stitchkin, all of a sudden you see Arculus coming down, going, "Ugh, friends, we. I think we might have a problem. If I could speak to ones capable of fighting, please come. Come, we must discuss this privately." And you see Arculus going to a separate private room. and a lot of people seem to be confused and worried all around.
I'm gonna say, don't worry, people. Everything will be fine. Go back to your drinking, and then I'm gonna get in the room.
Yevon and Silver, you both come down, and you also see this commotion before Arculus goes back into a private room.
Hello.
All right. Well, I guess we're all going into the private room.
Not so private anymore, is it?
Nope.
Mr.
And he
Sid-
just flies in.
Sartorius
still
will join.
holding me?
So,
yeah.
I'm
Just
being
carry-
dragged.
riding him
So
in.
Sartorius joins in along with Leon and the other archer. And
Does Copper hear this at all? Because he's
yes, you
outside?
do hear this. Yeah.
Just Claudia there?
Why are you
Yes.
so secretive? Just come inside, Copper.
I'm still falling. That's like we gave you guys a chance
Yeah,
to talk.
at this
Slow
point you would
fall.
have landed outside drinking your ale, and then you hear this commotion, Arculus going back in, and you see the rest of your comrades going in along with Leon and the other archer.
Otherwise, you would have been slow-mo falling and we would have flown past you. Bye.
Good luck on your
Alright.
fall.
Man, fuck
So-
that guy.
As everyone goes into this private room, Arculus shuts the door where he goes, and you see he's having trouble catching his breath.
Are you doing all right? I don't. You look really beat up.
Tiny
Well,
legs.
I could be better, my friends, but seems like we have some more trouble from beneath the church. Earlier today, the rest of the fighters that fought with us yesterday said that they found something heading towards the church. And when I went over there to get my expertise, as I go there, I just see what seems like to be a massacre of sorts. It seems like a group of survivors just slaughtered endlessly. And then all of a sudden, some fiends came out and attacked us. One of them is this red tiefling looking man with an electric whip and a blade of fire, seeming to attacked us. I tried to find him as best as I could, but he was just too strong. I managed to leave as fast as I can, but he yelled out, calling for your name, Yevon, and someone named Lemon.
I lightly
who are
slap
you
Arculus
exactly?
across the face.
Close enough.
And he's
Lemon.
What, Copper? Why'd
Oculus.
you do that?
There's no such thing as an electric whip. You are hallucinating out there.
No,
What did you see?
You eat some
I'm
mushrooms.
telling you the truth. I'm telling you everything, my friends.
I have not seen a magical weapon in 3 years. There's no such thing as an electrical whip.
I know that.
Yenman just turns and looks at Copper and he goes, I think I might know someone who might have something like that.
I want a fucking whip.
But no. We've got beef. If anyone's getting the whip, it's going to me or Lemon.
I want
Who's
to whip.
Lemon?
Calling me
the
Lemon.
hell's lemon?
My
He
name is
calls me
Eamon.
Lemon.
Lemon?
But
Oh,
you're not yellow.
Good God. No.
all right, Lemon. Introduce yourself then. Who are you? Why are you here? What you told me, tell them.
Silver's gonna look at all you and then he's gonna say, well then, I'm sorry for my crude introduction. My real name is Iamon. I am the brother to this very, very strange man here. I was adventuring for many years looking for him, and at last I have. I don't care about any of you, so do not bother introducing yourselves to me.
Well, that's going to make conversation awkward.
Well, being an asshole runs in
Acid
the
on
family, I
floor
guess,
in front
doesn't
of
it?
him.
It
It
does.
truly does.
Yeah. Well,
I kind of put my hand up toward Lemon's face, and I'm like, "So this guy has a whip, and he's entering underneath our church."
This was like far away from the church, luckily, but it seems like he could be making his way. But and
well,
him being,
you said something about underground as well. You said there's
Yes.
an underground area?
yes. So obviously the pipes that link through the system, but there's another passageway that leads further down past the church.
Yeah, we
that-
know about the sewer.
Yes. Anyways, we went down to the Underdark. Well, not quite the Underdark, but you know what I meant.
It's adjacent.
But the closer we got to what we found, we just found more slaughter, more death, and it became hotter and hotter. And then we fought this individual, and everyone was slaughtered. I don't even know how I was making it out. And you see him, and as he does, you can see him coughing up like a bunch of blood on his knuckles.
Well, you're lucky you're alive. The man you fought was named Red. He is well, to put it simply, he's in human terms, he's a lord of devils. So he's up there, and you're down here. But together as a unit, we are way up there. So I think we should go down there and raise hell, or whatever, heaven.
Put him back into hell.
Father Sartorius seconds this and says, "Yes, if it is the tiefling, indeed, he could somehow pass by the hollow spell, and we don't even know how powerful magic-wise he is."
We're going to need a gourd of holy water, 10 days rations, and a place to sleep while we get ready.
And somewhere to treat my wounds, because this hurts so much.
I can heal you.
Father Sartorius taps you on the shoulder, and he casts Cure Wounds on you at a higher level.
Thank you, Father Sartorius. What a good man.
You're gonna need as much strength as you can if this red is as powerful as it seems. You heal for... Oh, forgot one more dice. You heal for 24 hit points.
Holy shit, Father Sartorius. Alright, I'm basically at max HP. Damn.
So I take it this red fellow is heading toward the obelisk under our church.
That would seem logical, yes, says Father Sartorius.
This is our point of power. This is our lockdown zone. We must stop this immediately.
Yeah.
Hey, so Arculus, what's the battle plan here?
I almost responded.
Arculus says, well, I think we need to... I'm thinking of my dwarven voice, I'm sorry. Try to do a huff tough voice accent as long as the Scottish accent's quite tricky. Well, it would see I unfortunately cannot fight as I once did, but
hell yeah.
if you guys are up and ready, then by all means. Leon then says, well, we should go too. They could use our help. Father Sartorius says, wait. I think it's best wise if you, Leon, and Sarah stay put just in case if they're unable to make it back. We're going to need as much fighters as we can on the church grounds. We're all that's left. And then Arculus says, I'm going to catch some rest, and then I am also going to also help defend the church. You guys carry on. Kill this red bastard for me.
Okay.
Been the plan for about 4 years now, my good sir.
Wait, so can Claudia escort Arculus to his room? Like, like help him so he doesn't die?
Sure.
Cool, because he has... Yeah, cool, do that.
You guys gonna finally resolve that tension between your characters?
What?
I'm gonna stab
Milady.
I hate you both.
Now that Notable's not role-playing him, he doesn't give a fuck.
You escort Arceus to a private quarter.
Claudia's gonna finally give up that V card.
All right, Claudia.
No.
You escort Arculus to a private quarter.
Oh, it's been years, Miguel.
Everyone sees them walk off, and everyone's just, this is the internal monologue of everyone right now.
Okay, Claudia is gonna help Arculus get into bed and lay his...
What the fuck are you doing?
Hang on, lay his, he was what, an axe?
He has a spear, wow. You don't even know Arculus.
And lay his spear? And lay... Shut the fuck up, Matt! And lay his spear beside his bed. You've done your service for your time, and now you can rest. Actually, leaves the room.
Okay. Notable as Arculus.
Fuck
Anything you
you.
want to say to Lady Claudia? Anything you want to say to Lady Claudia as she says this to you, Arculus?
Arculus is just gonna say, I'm not fucking old, lad. I
You're
can still
not-
do my part.
You can barely stand, let alone fight.
What are you, my caretaker? Stop putting me to death already. Fuck off.
I'm putting you out of the way of death, sir.
Oh, same difference. Gonna have me rot here.
Listen, we serve together. I know you. What's best for you is to lay here and care for the church. You are not going to fight because you're going to die, and I tell you that with 100% certainty.
Arculus is just gonna smile and say, thank you, Claudia. Alright, get out of here.
Yeah. She like closes the door and walks out.
Alrighty. So, to kind of wrap up like the meeting along with the session, says, so you need the supplies. As far as Holy Water, we don't have as much, but we'll try to spare as much as we can. As far as rations, we could definitely give each of you some days worth, but not 10 days worth. But
I can make some holy water if I have the supplies.
that supplies we do have here, Cleric Peppers. So it is settled. You guys go after this red fellow.
After I take a nap. But yeah.
Alrighty. So as each of you rest for the nights, the moon beams down on the church once more. And the next day appears. You guys gather up all the supplies you could get. Each of you have 5 bottles of holy water. And on top of